So I have enjoyed living and working in Asia for the last 16 years. I'm the director of the Global Mission Center for East Asian Religions. And when I first came to Asia to share my testimony and share the good news with my friends, Buddhists, I didn't know how to begin. And I was teaching in a college. One of my students was a Buddhist monk, and as it became time for, December, Christmas time, he asked me, he said, "So tell me, what is Christmas all about?" And I thought, wow, what an opportunity. Here's someone who wants to know about my religion. So I didn't know where to begin. I thought, well, they don't understand why we needed a Savior. So I decided I should just do a quick overview, starting with creation and the fall and the promise that a Messiah would come, and then talk about his birth. And then I realized, well, if I just stop with his birth, he doesn't understand what had happened next. So then I talked about how Jesus went about healing people in his teachings, and then he was crucified on the cross and he died for us. He rose from the dead and he went back to heaven, and he's coming back soon. And you know what his response was? He was actually giggling out of embarrassment of what I had just unloaded on him. And it didn't really make sense to him. So I began to realize early on that doesn't make sense what I share with my Buddhist friends. And so what do? I was kind of at a quandary. So my wife and I would just like to take a couple of minutes and talk to you about these challenges that we face.
Something that we've discovered is that you can actually use the analogy of sports to understand the differences between the Buddhist worldview and a Christian worldview. The Christian worldview is very similar to soccer or football. With soccer or football, you have two teams who are competing against each other, physically actually fighting each other for the ball, for control. And you've got to get your ball into the net on the other side of the field. You've got people who are trying to stop you, trying to steal the ball from you. You have people who can help you. Your coach is there to help you and to support you and to give you some guidance and some direction. And you have your whole team. You work together as a team to move your ball into your net. Another key importance with this analogy is that with soccer or football, you have a very limited time frame. You're only on the field for about 90 minutes, 45 minutes for each half. And whoever gets the most points at the end of that 90 minutes wins. Also, it's interesting to note that you can be on the bench. You don't actually have to touch the ball once during the game and you can still win.
That's true. My team wins.
Right. What's important is that
win.
you're on a team, and we see this in Christianity. There's a big, big battle between God, between Satan. We have to choose a side, and there's a limited time frame. We understand as Seventh-day Adventist Christians that Jesus is coming, he's coming very soon, which gives us a great amount of a sense of urgency. Urgency that time is limited. We've really got to work hard. We've got to learn how to work as a team. We've got to do our best using the skills that each individual has to play the game of soccer or golf, or in this case, Christianity.
And the other limit on time, of course, is that we only have one life, right?
Right,
And we have to choose in this life whom we will serve.
That's right.
So that's the Christian perspective, but what about the Buddhist perspective and all of our Asian friends in this part of the world? Well, their perspective is actually a little bit more like golf. Now with golf, everyone has their own ball. You don't hit each other's ball. There's no teams. You don't see team hats, and jerseys. No, each individual is for himself. He must win at his own way. And actually, golf is much more of a mental game in the sense that it's a riddle. How are you going to best play the game? You have different clubs that you can use, and they all must be used, for different purposes. You have drivers, and I don't play golf, but you have all irons, and the weather conditions even affects your game. How fast the greens are playing and this type of thing. And so, how is this like Buddhism? Well, in Buddhism, there's not really any opponent who's out to get you, to defeat you. You're your own worst enemy, and the focus is on self-improvement, right? And then you actually have 18 holes. A lot of people say it's kind of expensive to play the game of golf. Actually, if you play really badly, you can play all day until they close at night, because it takes you so long to get that ball into the cup. So, and I guess that's kind of like how life could be in the Buddhist mindset, is that depending on how well you play,
Not very skilled.
Yeah, it could take you longer. Also, a lot of Asians, a lot of Buddhists have an understanding of the spirits. And so who are they? Are they against us? Well, in Christianity, we would say the spirits are fallen angels who are against us, trying to defeat us. But actually, the way Buddhists would see spirits is very different. They would see it kind of like the wild animals in the forest. Yes, you can get hurt by them, they could attack you, they might see you as a meal, but the animals in the forest are just doing what comes naturally. And the same with spirits. In fact, the spirits could help you as much as hurt you. Like a sand trap on the golf green. You know, you have a sand trap. It's not running around trying to catch your ball. The pond isn't moving around trying to block your shot. No, it's there. And you have to deal with these realities. And so this is exactly like Buddhism. We have to work with these environments, and that it's just about improving ourselves. So you see the difference. When we talk about Christianity, we talk about these things, it is so different from what the Buddhist has in mind about what it works. So oftentimes what we do is we go to Buddhists and we start talking about football,
right,
soccer, and giving them all the rules and how that's going to help them have a better game, and they'll sit there and scratch their head and say, well, yeah, I guess you play on grass, we play on grass.
You have a ball and we have a ball.
Yeah, we both have balls, and
you run and get exercise and we run and get exercise.
So it's all the same, it's all good. And in that level, yes, it's true, all religions do teach morals, but the rules of the game and the purpose is totally different. And so what we need to do is take time to listen, take time to observe, and take time to learn so that we can share the gospel in the right way.
So how can you begin? Well, there's a couple things you can do. If you have Buddhist friends or neighbors, I encourage you, take time to get to know them. Just be a friend, earn their trust, win their confidence, and eventually you'll be able to start sharing your own testimonies with them about how God is changing you. The second thing that you can do is go to our website, cear.adventistmission.org, and there you will find some resources to help you to understand Buddhism and to understand better how you can share your relationship with Jesus with your Buddhist friends. God bless you.